What was the animal that traveled to space for the first time in the world? There is only one answer to that, and that is Laika. However, there were many other living species, such as some flies or rats, who had done space missions before Laika. In addition to this, there was another monkey named Albert, who took part in a suborbital flight in 1948 before Laika, which cannot be called a space mission completely. That's why today we know Laika as the first animal to do a space mission. We feel proud to hear about Laika, because she was the first animal in the world to do a long space mission. But was Laika really a lucky dog, as we see in pictures or in news magazines or in school books? So what is the truth? Welcome again to Mr. Dar Videos. Viewers, before 1950, sending humans out of the Earth for a space mission was a very challenging task for the scientists of that time. In order to know whether humans will be able to survive in a space mission or not, different species of animals were sent into space. This was the year 1957, Moscow, which is located in Russia. At this time, Laika was roaming on the streets of Moscow like an ordinary stray dog. And she was 3 years old at the time. She didn't know then, that she would be the first human dog in history to go on a space mission. And in the meantime, with the help of the Soviet space program, the world's first space satellite, Sputnik 1, was successfully launched. But there was no living creature in Sputnik 1. That's why the scientists there thought to send a living big jeep into space this time. But maybe the Russian scientists wanted to do this second space mission very soon. So that's why it took only 4 weeks to build Laika's spacecraft, which was not up to the standards, and the poor dog paid the price later on, in the form of her life. The name of this spacecraft was Sputnik 2, which was specially designed for a dog. In this spacecraft, there was a carbon dioxide absorber, an oxygen generator, and a fan to keep the animal cool. To stay alive for 7 days, food was placed in a container and a bag was kept to automatically collect dog stool and urine. Sputnik 2's cabin was so small that there was no place to roam in the cabin. This is how Sputnik 2 was designed, which was ready just in 28 days. Now there was only a delay in finding a dog. The Soviet space scientists deliberately chose a stray dog on the street because they were more used to living in extreme conditions than other domestic dogs, which was ideal for this space mission. So in the meantime, the space scientists got Laika. And after that, Laika was trained to be sent into space. Because Sputnik 2's cabin was very small, Laika was kept in a small cage for 20 days so that she could get used to Sputnik 2's cabin. Soon Laika's training was over and she was ready to go into space. At that time, humans knew how to go into space, but not how to come back. Means, if you look at it, it was like a suicide mission. The only thing that Laika didn't know was that she was going to die in a few days. So before sending Laika on this mission, a scientist there took Laika with him to his house. And in the last moments of his life, he gave Laika a chance to play with his child. Now it was time for Laika to say goodbye forever. Finally Laika was tied to a chain in Sputnik 2's cabin and put inside so that she couldn't move much from her place. And in this position, Laika was kept inside the Earth for 3 days so that she could get used to this situation. On November 3, 1957, the last day of Laika's life. A while before Sputnik 2's launch, a technician kissed Laika's nose and said goodbye for the last time while closing Laika's spacecraft for the last time, knowing that she would never come back. And after that, Sputnik 2 was successfully launched. And with Laika, Sputnik 2 began to move forward in space. But, due to a technical fault, a part of Sputnik 2 could not be separated from the rocket. Maybe 4 weeks wasn't enough to make a spacecraft. And because of this, Laika's cabin temperature began to rise rapidly. And Laika's heart rate increased a lot more than before. The normal heart rate had reached from 103 to 240. So this proves that at that time, Laika was going through so much trouble due to the heat. And Laika fought death for 3 hours in a row. The temperature increased so much that after 5 hours, the signal from Laika's sensor stopped coming. And with this, Laika died. After her death, Sputnik 2 remained in space for 162 days. And about 2,570 times, it circled around the Earth. Then on April 14, 1958, as soon as Sputnik 2 entered the Earth's atmosphere, trying to come back, it burned to death with Laika. In 2008, the Russian government made a statue or monument in honor of Laika. This was the same place where Laika was trained. As you can see, there is a dog standing on a rocket, which is Laika. We should never forget this great sacrifice of Laika. There must have been some contribution of this dog in the space mission, because of which we can think about big space missions today. So do you think it is right to sacrifice these animals for the benefit of science and the advancement and development of humans? Don't forget to comment below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself.